Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again to the Dr. Burchett Show. We're joined today by Diana. You're back for more.
I am. You keep asking me to do these things.
I know. Well, the last one was good, and I think you have a lot of good things to share.
Good.
So let's jump right in and talk about the holidays.
Yes, that's happening.
Eating and the holidays. Here's one thing I want your opinion on. People say that they pig out over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the holidays, and they like put on 5 or 10 pounds in one day.
That's crazy.
Is that possible?
Not really. I mean, it's possible to be bloated and feel like you've put on 5 pounds. And that's highly likely happening because you're drinking a lot, you're eating very salty food, you're retaining water all of a sudden. But I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the holiday season, so come time January 3rd, you step on the scale and you are 5 pounds up. That is legitimate.
So you're saying like from Thanksgiving to Christmas, yeah, maybe people can put on 5 pounds, but like packing it on in one day.
That is not possible, no.
Yeah. I feel like what I've noticed in my life is when I'll eat like popcorn or McDonald's or whatever, like my weight will go up a pound or two, but it's mainly salt.
It's water retention.
So I eat a lot of salt,
yeah.
And then the physiology is water follows salt. So you have more salt in your system, your body holds on to more water. You are 2 pounds heavier, but it's not fat.
Not yet, but if you're eating McDonald's, it will become fat.
It's rare.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Dr. Larry.
Daily. It would be scandalous, but I like it, it's tasty. But I don't eat it that much. Anyway.
Good.
Because if you're gaining, what do you think about, because if you're gaining 5 pounds or 1 pound, what do you think about that 350 calorie approximate, like
3,500 calories you need to add
not 300, yeah, right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 pound is equal to about 3,500 calories.
Yeah.
Or 500 calories in excess per day.
Per day, yes.
For a week. So if you eat 500 more calories than you burn up for a week, you put on a pound.
Yes.
In general.
It's
not perfect.
Yeah.
So there's no way that you're eating 3,500 calories in one day too much.
Oh, in a single day. No, I mean, anything's possible, but the average person would be sick and vomiting before. I mean, because you're talking about doubling your calorie intake if you're a big, tall, strapping man, right? Like, so imagine eating 7,000 calories all of a sudden. If you're not used to it, you're going to be sick. So yeah, people would have to do that.
And that's just 1 pound.
And that's just 1 pound. Yeah.
So we're probably not packing on weight overeating on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Packing on in one day.
Not in one day, but you have to take into consideration it's a holiday season. So you're talking about work parties, you're talking about cookie shares, you're talking about just random candy all over the place. Now, also Thanksgiving is after Halloween, so you're probably already going into the season with a few extra calories in your system that need to be there. So
a few extra demons revisited after candy season.
Yeah, and aside from the amount of food we're eating, all of a sudden people who go from, maybe drinking moderately are all of a sudden drinking with more frequency because there are so many more holiday parties.
Yeah.
And all that needs to be counted into their calorie intake per day. Yeah, so
it's good times, but it's calories.
It's good times, but it's not shocking that we overeat and that we put on weight.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to be kind of liberal about it and if we're not going to compensate by exercising more. And I think that's the big thing. If people wanted to be strategic, they would use holiday season not as a time just to overeat, but as a time to also over-exercise. I mean, not really over-exercise. You don't want to hurt yourself.
No,
but counteract it. You can. Yeah.
If you want to maintain the same weight, you have options.
Yeah.
Either eat the same, or if you're going to eat more, exercise a little more.
Yeah.
Or acknowledge, I'm going to pack on some weight over the holidays, and then I'm going to burn it off come January.
Whatever's feasible. Or you know what you can do?
Whatever you want to do.
If you want to, you could just kind of pick and choose when you want to kind of overindulge.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason, like me personally, I don't participate in like cookie parties. I don't really...
You're anti-cookie. You're
a
cookie hater.
Actually, I love cookies. There's nothing more than that I enjoy in life more than a fresh baked chocolate chip cookie. Write that down. It's super true. If you want to make me happy, just give me one of those. But
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm not going to go out of my way on a day-to-day basis every time somebody at work, for example, has baked something, which is basically from Thanksgiving until New Year's.
Totally. I did that. I did that today. Politely refused.
Yeah.
Was, but there's some pressure there. There's some social pressure.
There is some social pressure. You could always taste. I mean, if you don't want to offend somebody, you could always take a bite and compliment them on their cooking or baking. Like, nobody's asking you to sit down and have a plate full of food, or hopefully they're not. But, I mean, Thanksgiving doesn't have to be about hanging out at the table and eating all day.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, like you said, picking and choosing. I'm kind of planning my, attack, because I've got some holiday parties and stuff coming up too. So it's like, okay, what am I going to do? One of the things that I, 5 pounds, 3 pounds, whatever. I feel like the last couple months I've worked really hard to get where I'm at, and I don't want to slide back 5 pounds. I feel like that would kind of knock the wind out of my sails. So this holiday season, I want to, like we're talking about, have a plan, pick and choose, okay, maybe a little moderation here, add some cardio there. In terms of the big days, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, okay, what do you think about this? So I'm reading this stuff about putting on muscle, and it talks about if you work out at 4 or 5 o'clock, if you lift weights at 4 or 5 o'clock, beforehand you do low carb. But then after you work out, when your muscles are hungry and have been broken down, you need protein in there. What if I worked out and lifted weights before Thanksgiving lunch? Then, because there's some stuff that says, oh no, you need a lot of carbs, you need a lot of protein to build some muscle. So then maybe that gives me a little more leeway. Like, okay, lift weights at like 11, and then roll into dads, and
just be careful you don't get too famished. That's the danger. That's the biggest danger, because all of a sudden.
No, I'm not saying starving.
Yeah, no, I understand, but if you're not eating those carbohydrates and protein immediately after a workout, then you're missing your opportunity to have them be beneficial to you, right? I mean, they really need to be consumed within 2 hours max.
Let's say I time it to where I'm walking out of the gym and I drink a little shake or something, a little protein shake then, and then I prime myself to maybe enjoy a little more Thanksgiving than I would otherwise.
I think that's a great idea, because...
Do you approve or not?
I approve.
Concerns?
No, I don't have concerns. I just be careful that you're not doing it to the degree in which you go into Thanksgiving hungrier than you would have otherwise. So you're just going to have to kind of...
Okay, so you're worried about setting myself up for overeating.
Yes, because it's already going to be tempting. What I would normally tell a client or a patient is to have a nice snack of a balance of carbohydrate and protein, substantial protein, before having a meal, so that you're not likely to want to overeat.
So let's talk about that, because some people do, before the big meal, like not eat, like quote, save more room so that they can get all their calories
and it's fine.
Enjoyed at one sitting.
In theory, it's great, but then we're kind of setting ourselves up for disappointment, right? Because there's going to be so much temptation that you're kind of making it unnecessarily difficult on yourself. You probably get away with it if you, like I said, have a snack before and you're not starving. It's easier to turn down food when you're not hungry.
Because what happens if you're starving and you roll into Thanksgiving dinner?
You're going to want to eat almost everything. Because
you're going to overeat.
You're going to overeat, for
starving.
For sure. It's easy to turn down. Just think about it. You've just eaten, and all of a sudden your mom comes in the room and is like, "Are you hungry, sweetie?" And then you're like, "No, because I'm full. I've just eaten."
Yeah.
Now imagine you're saving your calories, so you're starving, and all of a sudden your mom wants you to eat. Of course you're going to be like, "Yes, Mom, make me anything. I'll eat anything."
Totally.
It never works in that way.
You've got the wheels turning. Like I'm thinking about these holiday meals and everything that goes on and how hungry I am. And so now I'm like, well, maybe I'll have a little bit of turkey beforehand so that I'm not totally starving and I can enjoy it then and enjoy it later without like overeating and packing on all of this stuff.
And you know, I think a big thing is too, if you're really kind of worried about all these calories, why don't you, you know, you can take control of some of the meal as well. Like you always have the option to provide, I'm sure nobody would turn it down, some sort of side dish or something that, you know, if you're going to be running into a situation where everything's going to be super laden with fats, that you at least have one thing that you can resort to.
Vegetables.
Yeah, vegetables, or you could even make a lower calorie pumpkin pie. I mean, you can do things that would be enjoyable. There's ways around all these things. But if you're really concerned about not having the option that your mom's gonna, or whoever it is gonna make everything super fatty and super high calorie and super high sugar, then provide something yourself. Or you could kind of maybe put it out there, like, why don't we try and have a lower calorie Thanksgiving dinner and get your feelers out. Maybe people are feeling the exact same way that you are and they're too afraid to voice their opinions.
So many possibilities.
Yeah.
So moms cook, huh?
I'm not cooking. My mom's still around, so she's cooking.
So sexist of you. I can't believe you did that on this show.
I'm only doing it because my mom is a great cook, so she's who I have on the brain.
My dad actually cooks at home.
Your dad does? And it's not barbecue?
It's on the grill. When he cooks it, he bakes it turkey. He puts it in the oven every year. The whole works.
Most of my
Stuffing,
friends,
corn,
the guys are better cooks than the girls. Like my contemporary in my age group now. But
definitely
old school
ends with my dad. That did not get passed on,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're done. You know, the questions I have for the group, this was a great conversation. You know, how can you have a healthy holiday regarding eating? That's the question. What things work for you and all that? I would love to hear some responses to what we did today and your ideas. Thanks for stopping by. We will see you next time.
My pleasure.
Return this page.